Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Monday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, man, we got so much to catch up on when it comes to Laker basketball. But before I can even get into that, which I will get into it, so just stick with me and bear with me if you will. But what I want to do is talk about the confrontation that took place between Houston head coach Ime Udoka and that of LeBron James as the Lakers were at home in the Crypto.com arena on Saturday night to face the Houston Rockets. And of course, LeBron James, as we all know by now, headlines have been made about the confrontation that they had. A little bit of the audio has been leaked. So as we know by now, we all know what has been said. But the reason why I want to come and give you my take is because I saw First Take today. I saw Undisputed, and I saw some of the takes taken by Stephen A. Smith and that of Skip Bayless, even Sherman, Richard Sherman, and Keyshawn Johnson. I'm telling y'all right now, this showed a hatred on a whole nother level when you talk about Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless. And I'm going to get into all that in just a minute, but I want to give you my take on this situation. But before I do, let me just tell y'all this. LeBron James is the smartest player in basketball with a high IQ, and he knew that Ime Udoka already had a technical foul before he went over there. So first and foremost, I'm not saying he was just saying, oh, I'm about to get this man kicked out of the game strategically. The Lakers already had the game in hand. But at the same token, Ime Udoka was talking out the side of his neck. You understand me? So he sat up here. The player came down the court. LeBron James said, hey, he traveled. Ime Udoka said, stop bitching, basically. And LeBron James just wanted to tell him, hey, do not use that word so loosely. Now, there are some people saying that Ime Udoka said, stop acting like some bees. You know what I'm saying? So he may have said that. I am not for certain because I'm not sure if I heard that particular piece of the audio. I heard him say, stop crying. I heard him say, stop bitching, is basically what he said in so many words. So as LeBron James approached him, Dillon Brooks, of course, tried to come in between them, but LeBron James ultimately still made his way over to Ime Udoka and just let him know, hey, and he said it respectfully as a grown man, hey, don't use that word too loosely, you know, and that's all he's saying, man to man. But of course, Ime Udoka basically said, so what you gonna do about it? So, you know, he's saying, what are you going to do about it? Well, basically, what you think I'm going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? You're just talking tough because you had the protection of the referees. And this is what I agree with Richard Sherman on this. You talking tough right now saying, oh, what are you going to do about it? Like LeBron James really just going to fire him up or something. You act like LeBron James just finna haul off and do something. So you know in this situation, he not going to do nothing. So of course you going to say something. So probably in Ime Udoka head, he probably remember when LeBron James used to dunk on his ass. He probably remember when LeBron James used to hit that fadeaway on him. He probably remember when LeBron James used to hit that cut on him and spin around and reverse slam on his ass. That's probably what he remember. And now he see LeBron James still in year 21 while you done became a coach and he's still out here doing this shit to perfection. And you don't like it. You didn't like it in Boston when he did you. You don't like it when you in Houston. So at the end of the day, maybe you got a personal problem with this man. Maybe you got a hatred for this man. Maybe you think LeBron James thinks too much of himself. Maybe you mad that people put LeBron James in the GOAT conversation. Maybe you feel like, oh, he not, whatever your feelings is, LeBron James respectfully said, do not say that word so loosely. That's all he said. And then you want to come back and say, well, you a soft ass boy. Basically. And that's what he said. And LeBron James just looked at him like, oh, check, now you gone. But at the end of the day, you think LeBron James worried about it? People want to keep saying LeBron James is soft. Let me tell y'all something. LeBron James grew up in Akron, Ohio, spent months living in a car with his mama, didn't have anything and got it out the gutter. This the person y'all choose to hate on. So he been far removed from a hood environment for a long time because he had money since he 18. We all know when he came into the league. But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean your natural instinct to defend yourself isn't going to kick in. And you got people like Skip Bayless. So let me touch on Skip's awful take talking about he would pick, if they did meet in the dark alley, he would pick Ime Udoka over LeBron James. So you're going to pick an out-of-shape coach that's older, who's been retired, who is, maybe 6'6" compared to LeBron 6'9". LeBron still outweigh him by 20 or 30 pounds and is in excellent shape. Man, LeBron going to go ooped upside that head. Now, I'm telling y'all something right now. If you're a professional athlete, you're going to have some stamina about yourself because you stay in the gym. whether especially cardio. And I don't know how many fights y'all done been into, but man, you get to swinging and throwing blows and wrestling around, you will get tired real quickly if you're not in shape. You understand me? And who in better shape? And do you think Ime Udoka just got some kind of power where he gonna sleep LeBron James? Did y'all not forget when LeBron James barely elbowed Isaiah Stewart in Detroit a couple of seasons ago? Man, his eye ran like the Red Sea when it was turned to blood back in the days of Moses. You understand what I'm telling you? And that was just, oh, I made a mistake and elbowed him. Now imagine if he wanted to mollywop him. Now imagine that if he really just wanted to mollywop him. You understand what I'm telling you? But at the end of the day, that take got to be terrible, Skip Bayless. And then let me circle back on this. For Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith to say, well, this is another notch in Michael Jordan's belt because they wouldn't have did that. Michael Jordan wouldn't have got disrespected like that. Look at the screen. Who is this right here? This worse than talking? This is none other than Danny Ferry. Wham! Firing Michael Jordan up. Wham! You see that? Look up. Right up against his dome piece. So you talking about disrespect? I ain't never seen nobody swing on LeBron James. Now, when he did that to Isaiah Stewart, it took a whole team to hold him back, and he was going to get at him. But understandably so. This wasn't even that type of situation. You understand me? He just fucked out. Danny Ferry got fed up with the situation. Go watch it on YouTube. Go watch it on YouTube. Research it. Google Danny Ferry fighting Michael Jordan. Man, lump thump on that dome piece. Lump thump. Right there. You understand me? Oh, but hold on. Nobody else wouldn't disrespect Michael Jordan. Look at this right here. What's this? Reggie Miller. Look like a cat paw trying to gouge Michael Jordan eyeballs out. You understand me? And you talking about levels of disrespect. They wouldn't disrespect Michael Jordan like that when the Pistons was slamming him to the ground and talking bad to him every chance they could. You think Isaiah Thomas was backing down for him? Y'all don't even know the personal story. Isaiah Thomas, man, had Jordan staying with his kinfolk, man, when he first got to Chicago. Zeke from the Chi. And he said, if you dissing them, then you dissing me. You understand that? So at the end of the day, people just want to put certain players on a pedestal and glorify them like they could do no wrong and they was never disrespected. And Skip Bayless had the audacity to say that probably nowhere in the history of time did anybody ever call Michael Jordan out his name. Oh, and Michael called me. Like he would tell the truth anyway. Of course, he'll say, nobody ever called me that. Oh, he would have did this as Stephen A. Smith. Oh, he dropped 50 on you if you did. What are you talking about? No coaches ever said that. How old was coaches then? And no knock to all the old coaches back then, you understand me? But we have a new era where we have younger coaches like Ime Udoka who hasn't been far removed from basketball. So he used to chopping it up and talking crazy and getting into back and forth. And maybe LeBron just was smart enough to get the best of him. And that just is what it is. But the referee might could have let it go. He could have said, hey, chill out. I'm going to give y'all a check. He could have gave him, don't kick out the coach. But it didn't matter. It was over with anyway. The coach already had a check. So Stephen A. Smith, go run and tell that. He already had a check. But anyway, man, let's get into a little bit of some Lakers basketball because, as we all know, the Lakers did win that game. And I want y'all to notice, I've noticed a streak of what the Lakers been doing ever since the Kings, well, they beat the Grizzlies, then they lost to the Kings. They won one, lost one. Then they beat Portland. Then it started when they played the Rockets. The Jazz. They played the Jazz. They beat the Jazz. Then they lost to the Mavericks. They beat the Cavs. Then they lost to the Sixers. They beat the Pistons, and they lost to the Thunder. They beat the Rockets, so will they lose to the Suns? We'll talk about that here in just a second, too. But this win one, lose one, win one, lose one, it could be expected a little bit. I can do just a very quick recap on those games. And I won't go as far back as the Sixers game because we already did a show. We already talked about that. The Pistons game, the Lakers came out and did ultimately what they had to do. The Thunder game, the Lakers started off really well in that game, and they let it slip away from them. Man, SGA is a phenomenal player. Chet Holmgren is coming into his own. He was doing his thing, but ultimately not trying to make any excuses for the Lakers, but they only had 7 good players available on that particular evening because of all the injury. Cam Reddish was out, Achimura was out, Gabe Vincent continues to be out. Vanderbilt hadn't made his way back yet. So, when you only got a 6-7 man rotation going against a team, you might shorten that rotation when you get to the playoffs down to an 8 or 9 man rotation of your best players. But Darvin Ham has still been tinkering with the lineup, as we know, this year, trying to get everything copacetic. So, of course, then they went on to face the Rockets at home, and the Rockets came out and was really punching the Lakers in the mouth in the first quarter. We know the Lakers have been struggling in the first quarter of games this year and had a very lopsided plus-minus margin, really the worst of all time so far through the first 18 games, the last I looked. So for them to come back and really take control in the second quarter with that phenomenal quarter that they had and just keep a stranglehold on the game from that point showed me something, because they struggled against the same team earlier in the year. And at the end of the day, Jared Vanderbilt's presence back on the floor, even though he wasn't in the starting lineup, ultimately I think he will make his way back to the starting lineup. But usually when you're coming back from injury, you kind of just want to gingerly fit your way back into game action. So at the end of the day, man, I tell you what, I think Vanderbilt, that length is going to be something. He had one three he might have shot from the corner. It was terrible, maybe like 3 or 4 feet off, but that's to be expected. He wasn't a great three-point shooter. We know he worked over the summer and expected to have an uptick in three-point percentage, but having not played any games yet, and this being his first game back of the season, it takes you a while to get into game shape and game form. So I would expect for him to make some of those shots eventually and the numbers to start falling in his favor. He can't do any worse than what Taurean Prince has been doing, even though Taurean Prince shoots it well on the road. He shoots like 41% from 3 on the road, just not so well at home for some reason. So, the Lakers got the quarterfinals. We had the blackout because this in-season tournament, man, I think it's good. It's getting players rest, except for the players who play in the extra game. So we're going to have to talk about that at another time. But the Lakers been on the win one, lose one, win one, lose one. They will take on the Suns tomorrow. The Suns, they've been looking good as of late. Kevin Durant has been playing phenomenally. The Lakers have already beat the Suns twice this season, I think once without Devin Booker and once without Bradley Beal. I'm not sure what the injury report is on that right now. I apologize. I try to follow all the teams the best I can. But we're going to have a full update on that tomorrow on the pregame show. So tune in there. I'll dig in a little bit more and I'll give you a full breakdown, analysis, and prediction of such, man. But, man, I just wanted to come at y'all, man, say I appreciate y'all, all my YouTube family. If you haven't done so already, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. And as always, this has been your boy B New. I'm saying right on to the real, and much love to these haters. I'm out.